Welcome to the RadioU Podcast. I'm Hudson.
And I'm Allie.
Coming up, which public domain character is getting a movie that actually might be good?
Also, the most powerful rocket ever built is being launched into space.
All that and more on the way next. Oh, Allie, I have bad news. 8772 RadioU. Talkback button in the RadioU app. Game 2, Knicks Cavs. Is it tonight?
Yes. 8 p.m.
You might not want to watch.
Oh, yeah?
Because I don't know if you saw this. It actually happened before Game 1, and I can't believe I missed it. But the Cavs have been cursed.
Oh, yeah?
They've been cursed by none other than Danhausen of the WWE.
Oh.
Yeah.
Your favorite guy.
Yeah. Everyone's favorite wrestler.
I mean, I don't watch wrestling.
He cursed the Knicks before Game 1, or cursed the Cavs
Knicks.
because he's a Knicks fan.
Okay.
And obviously, we know how Game 1 ended, so it seems the curse is real. And so I guess it's just over for the Cavs. You might as well just not even watch.
Yeah, might as well just give up. You know, Nene yesterday at 10:03 in the morning, I wrote this down, said, the Cavaliers have no shot in this series. Knicks fans after the game were seen chanting outside of Madison Square Garden, "We want Wemby! We want Wemby!"
Mm-hmm.
Don't know if that's going to happen on the other side.
They'll probably get SGA instead.
Yeah, well, either way, I thought that was hilarious. I also thought it was hilarious that Nene was telling me they have no shot, and he was like, I was shocked that they beat Toronto.
Yeah.
I was shocked that they beat the Pistons. I was like, sounds like you're shocked a lot by what the Cavs are doing.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like your track record is very good by saying who's going to win.
Yeah. But
he was also shocked that the Celtics lost, too. So
did he mention the Danhausen curse?
I don't think he knew about the Danhausen curse.
Because then it would make sense what he was saying. Not that he was shocked, but that they have no shot. Because once steps in, there's no, I mean,
it's over.
It's supernatural.
Okay.
I was
telling him, though, so I have something, I can never explain it, but I get this feeling, and it's like I just know that they're going to win.
Yeah.
And I have that feeling with this team. I had it back in 2016 when the Cavs were playing in the finals against the Golden State Warriors when they were down 3-1. I just knew they were going to win that series and win the championship. And it's the same with this team. I just know they're making it to the finals. I can't explain it to you how I get this feeling. I got the same feeling when the Ohio State Buckeyes were playing in 2014. They were down like a bunch against Alabama in the semifinals. I knew they were going to win. There was just something about it. I can't explain the feeling. I just know it. Even if they are like looking bad in the moment, I just know they're going to win. Sorry, Danhausen. I'm going with my intuition here because I have been right about this. And I also knew the Indians were going to lose in the 2016 World Series.
I'm sorry to tell you, Allie, your feeling's wrong.
I just think that they're going to win. I know it. They're going to make it to the finals. It's going to be the Thunder and the Cavs.
Their only hope is that Danhausen is a fan of the Knicks, and he cursed the Cavs in Game 1. The curse continues, but he, in exchange for cursing the Cavs, is expecting tickets for the game tonight. And not only tickets, courtside seats, and not only courtside seats between Kylie Jenner and, as he says it, Timothy Chalamet. So if he doesn't get to sit between them, then who knows what happens?
The curse is over.
Is the curse broken?
Well,
but something tells me that it might work out for him to sit between them, at least for a moment.
They weren't there at the first game, but I'm expecting them to be there tonight. But I will say, it is interesting that he goes ahead and curses a cursed city. Does that reverse the curse?
Based off of Game 1, I don't think so.
We still have 6 more games left in this series. So I think it's hilarious that all of you are saying the same thing.
I don't want to question Danhausen's curse because I think it probably is legitimate.
You don't want to question Danhausen?
No, you don't question Danhausen. So don't hear what I'm not saying, but I think the Cavs they've been cursed by having James Harden and Kenny Atkinson. Today, in things you were lied to about your entire life, we have a study about icing injuries.
Okay.
Here it makes them taste much better. Add a little sweetness.
I got to be honest, when I did see this headline, I thought that it meant icing.
This is a study out of Canada, no less, McGill University, where they found that icing an injury is not ineffective. It's still, it has a use.
Okay.
But what they found is if you put ice on an injury, it takes significantly longer to recover, meaning the pain will last, they say, roughly twice as long in some cases compared to if you don't ice the injury.
Okay.
But the icing the injury still does dampen the pain initially.
In the moment.
Yes. So now, based off of this finding, you have to decide anytime you injure yourself, what do you want? Do you want more pain for a shorter time, or do you want less pain for twice as long?
What do they say you should do to get rid of the pain for like the long term?
Not ice it.
Just like do nothing?
Yeah. If the study was about the two choices, do you ice it? Do you not ice it? If you ice it, it lasts longer.
I thought it would be between like hot and cold. Are you supposed to do heat instead?
Why choose when you can have icy hot
that's
topical ointment?
That's kind of the appeal of that, I suppose, is it's like it does the cold and then the hot. But for me, I like for the temporary relief, like of a true, injury. Let's say like I pulled something.
Yeah.
I have used like the BioFreeze before, and that definitely does alleviate the pain in the moment. But I have found for me, especially since I started running more frequently, I get sore legs quite often, especially because I also do like cardio drumming and pickleball, and that's a lot of like leg movement stuff. So I take like hot baths and let my legs just like soak.
Yeah.
And that really does help alleviate like soreness for me.
We need a study on that. I mean, you are the study. But
I feel like it's the opposite. Like I've heard the opposite. Like, oh, if your muscles are sore or whatever, you're supposed to put like cold on them. But for me, like the hot water like really helps me.
I struggle to think of anything that like really warm water wouldn't help with.
Exactly.
Me.
I'm like, I don't get why, because everybody does like the ice baths or whatever, like the athletes and everything. I'm like, I think that would actually make me more stiff and more sore.
Yeah.
I don't know. Science probably says different.
Yeah, I don't think that all the pro athletes in the world are icing themselves because and they're all wrong about it.
No, I don't think they're wrong about it, but I would struggle doing that.
I also think that there's a mental side of that where just like where you take medicine and it tastes bad and you're like, it must be working. If you subject yourself to being in an ice bath,
being in that much pain.
Yeah, you're like, this must be helping. This has got to be helping me.
Yeah.
And so I wonder if there's some kind of study that could test those effects.
Yeah.
The
placebo effect or whatever.
Yeah, since this study was done on mice, I don't think that would really be taken into account. Because,
it was done on mice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because what they found, there's something much more scientific to just, they were, it wasn't just, hey, does this hurt?
Yeah.
They were testing mice, and what they believe is that the ice interferes with neutrophils, which are immune cells that help the body shut down pain responses.
Okay.
And so it interferes with those, which dampens the pain at the time, but yet again, doesn't make it go away long term any faster. In fact, it makes it last longer. So
yikes. Sounds like you should just take ibuprofen.
Yeah. Or not hurt yourself. That's one thing I like to try to do. Radio U, where music is going, 8772 Radio U. I have some good news and bad news. The good news is the Ronda Rousey-Gina Carano fight from Saturday night on Netflix was the most watched MMA event of all time.
Let me guess what the bad news is.
Yeah.
The bad news is that it was the most watched.
Yes, 100%. The most watched MMA event of all time was that.
Yeah, that's not great.
It was, that doesn't say much for MMA, I guess. But, I mean, it's good news that more people are tuning in. The bad news is this is only going to encourage Jake Paul and MVP to, dip their toe in. They're already talking about this with more MMA events, which I don't necessarily think is good for the sport. I think it's good that the UFC has competition, but I don't know if this is really like healthy competition,
This feels like competition that can last only for a certain amount of time because it's a fool me once, thing. So I don't think they're going to get as many views the next time around if they try and pull this off again, bringing up 2 older fighters for MMA, and then it ends up being a less than 1 minute long fight.
Yeah, that definitely seems like Gina Carano was just there to to take a fall right off the bat.
It definitely felt like that because if you watch like right after the fight, they're like hugging each other.
Right. And some people are like, oh, they had a lot of respect for each other. I'm like, yeah, but she gave up instantly.
Yeah, it feels like it was staged.
It definitely felt that way. And Ronda Rousey saying she was one and done all along. It's just like, it really left a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
And the U.S., or at least currently, the way that this absolutely was, is that MVP is just taking the leftovers from the UFC, almost like in some towns there's like an independent baseball league that will have like the baseball players that kind of fell out of the major leagues, but are names if you're a baseball fan, you might still recognize. And that might be cool every once in a while, but like you're not going to be excited about that when you know what it is. And that's what it feels like this is.
Yeah, definitely. So I think this isn't going to work for very long because the jig is up.
Yeah, I think it is. I think they were exposed in front of 12.4 million viewers.
Think about this. If people bet on that fight and it's staged, like that's just straight up wrong.
Right.
Just wrong.
Yeah. But I will say people bet on all kinds of stuff and feel like they're duped afterwards, rightly or wrongly, mostly wrongly.
Yeah.
And they still keep doing it. But
I think they'd be right in this case to dispute
I agree.
and be like, I don't want to, give me my money back.
There's a history of other Jake Paul involved things also being that way.
Just don't bet on any of that stuff.
The numbers don't lie, though. 12.4 million global viewers. That's like almost double the previous most viewers for a UFC event.
What was it?
That was, believe it or not, the most, the UFC's Velasquez versus Dos Santos fight from 2011 peaked at 8.8 million viewers. That was on Fox. Now, most UFC has always been pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So that's why that one was so high, because it was on broadcast TV. Now, of course, UFC is on Paramount Plus, just like this event on Netflix. Anybody that's a subscriber can watch. And I feel like also that the Freedom 250 is probably going to surpass this because it's a much bigger deal.
I think it's definitely going to surpass this. Also, this just reminds me how much bigger boxing is because if you look at the boxing numbers for the most watched fights, like those numbers are just nothing compared to that.
But you know what that means? Lots of room to grow still for UFC.
That's true. Just don't grow in this way.
Yeah, right. Do it the right way, please. On the menu today is the new Hawaiian barbecue Pringles. These smell strongly of brown sugar. It's crazy how brown sugary they smell.
They definitely have a different type of barbecue smell than like just a traditional barbecue chip.
Based off of the pictures, it seems like it's a skewer that's got pineapple and what I believe is an onion and then a green and red thing. I don't know what those are.
Peppers or tomato, something.
I don't know. Maybe that's a lime is the green thing. I don't know. You can take a look and see what you think. But we also are going to have to let our mouths decide.
Yeah, that almost looks like a fruit and then a lime.
But you can also see they're very well covered. If you watch on the RadioU Mornings YouTube channel, you'll see that like they have a brownish red hue to them, like a maroon. Yeah. A burgundy hue to them.
They kind of match my sweater.
Yeah, they kind of do.
My sweater's burgundy today.
I'm going in.
All right, go in with the Pringle. You got the chip like sticking out. Oh, they smell so good.
They smell better than they taste. I'll definitely say that.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't taste bad. It has, how would I describe it? I feel like I need to eat more than one.
I really like that.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's
also,
like sweet, but not like the brown sugar sweet like you would expect from the smell of it.
It's a diverse flavor profile.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting lots of different things. I'm getting a little bit of the pineapple.
Mm-hmm. I'm getting some smoky kind of like roasty flavor on the back end of it. I'm I mean, I think I like it.
Yeah, I definitely do.
I want to have more.
Let me see what the ingredients are on here, if they actually have any of those things in there.
Who knew Pringles could make such like a complex flavor profile?
Yeah, there's a lot of flavors going on. So I think all the flavors that are on this like skewer are somehow included in there.
I kind of get that because it kind of feels like a lot of like there's a vegetable-y flavor to it.
There's onion, there is pineapple, looks like appears to be a lime, and then another like red fruit. I can't see if it's like a dragon fruit or because it's got a lot of seeds, so I can't quite tell. The image is so tiny.
Yeah.
And then it looks like another pineapple here at the end with more onion. So yeah, lots of different flavors, like a sweetness, veggie, that something, and then barbecue sauce.
I'm pretty happy with it. Allie, do you ever do this thing with Pringles where you give yourself chocolate?
Maybe when I was a kid. I don't know.
Now
Although
anymore?
we didn't really have Pringles in Zambia, so
did you do that thing with bugles where you put them on your fingers and now
and then you would eat them?
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Oh yeah. We also didn't have bugles in Zambia, but whenever we came to the U.S., we would have Pringles, bugles, all that stuff.
I don't even know where to find bugles now, but I've heard they make them. They're not big enough. Obviously, our fingers are big enough.
I was gonna say we're also not children anymore.
I've heard that bugles have shrunk enough that that's not a thing you can do very well.
I think
even
you
if you're a child.
Still find them in like vending machines. I don't know if you can find them just at a store anymore, but they're definitely, I remember on my college campus, there was always bugles in the vending machine.
Bugles are okay. They're more fun. They look more fun than they taste.
Yeah, they were fun as kids for sure.
We should we're doing first to worst later on the show. It's first to worst Thursday, but we should do a first to worst of most fun foods to play with. That would be a good first to worst. I guess what would be worse? I don't even know. But, the Pringles, first to worst, these are one of the better Pringles I've had in a while.
I really
Pretty
do
good.
like them, but I've also never had a Pringle that I'm like, that was disgusting.
Pringles are never the worst.
Nope.
Just any chip. It's never bad.
Yeah, I want to eat more.
I can't believe we're heading into Memorial Day weekend.
I know. The time just flies by.
The year's almost half over.
I know.
It does not feel like that long ago we were celebrating New Year's and Christmas and everything.
This happens every year now, Hudson. I just feel like as I have gotten older, the year just goes by in a flash.
Yeah, it must be part of aging for some reason.
Yep.
I don't know what it is, but it's exciting though because Memorial Day weekend, one of the best weekends I think of the year.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know if you're like this, but like a lot of people have Memorial Day barbecues, get together kind of thing. Some people have to go to a lot of them.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you have different groups of friends that you're going around to different like barbecues, you have to like be different people at each of those barbecues.
Yeah.
Or even worse, if you're hosting the barbecue and then the friends are mixing,
Yeah.
And it's like your parents are coming, so you have to kind of be like the person your parents know, but then your friends from college are coming, and so you have to be the person they know.
Yeah.
And then there's this other group of friends from trivia night, and like they all kind of know a different version of you. And if you're trying to be like that different version of you for all these different people, it wears you out.
It can. Yeah, I could see that happening. But I feel like for the most part, I'm usually myself around everybody. And so I don't have to like change my personality depending on who I'm around. Like my parents, they know who I am. My friends, they know who I am. Other family members, whoever it may be. And so I'm not like changing based off of who I'm interacting with.
Or you could have a situation where like there's kind of people that see you more online than in person.
Ooh.
And like sometimes that can be a way different version of you,
Yeah.
It's not, I don't feel like it's often intentional. It's just like these people are comfortable with this. And so you kind of play that up more. These people are comfortable with this. These people have known you your whole life. So they know more things,
Well,
and
I'm sure most people who listen to us on the radio, there's like a sense of like knowing us.
Yeah.
But also like if you hung out with us, you'd know even more.
Yes.
Because what we show on the radio, what we talk about on the radio is like literally only a fraction of our personality. And whatnot. So yeah, that's definitely the case when it comes to our job.
Exactly. So I feel like, or possibly the best example of all, your work you is probably different than the everywhere else you.
Maybe, yeah.
Because you have to be like professional and, wear pants and stuff like that. So I feel like we're all used to it. It's a part of life, but it's something that can really wear you down. I want you to know that God sees the whole you, not just one compartment of you that you show at work or that you show to your parents or that you show to your other friends. God sees all of you, and that includes the messy parts of you, but he's okay with that.
Yeah.
You don't have to put on some kind of face or do that special accent that you developed by accident or whatever it is to impress God, because he sees all of you and he loves all of you.
Yeah, he loves all of you. He made all of you. And so just think about it in the sense of like the joy, a dad has holding his little baby for the first time, that just feeling of just ultimate love. That's what God feels when he looks at you. You are his creation. You are his child, and he loves you so, so much.
You don't have to downplay anything. You don't have to hide anything. God sees all of it, and he loves you despite all of that. And because of all of who you are as well. And if you want to experience that love is there. Jesus is ready to be a part of your life and to let you know you can be yourself around him.
Yeah.
Say, hey, God, I want you in my life. I want to know more about you because you know so much about me. Start there. Go to RadioU.com/free gift. Bryson DeChambeau has a wild conspiracy theory about the moon.
Oh, no. Bryson, no.
8772 Radio U, or the talkback button in the Radio U app. Bryson DeChambeau, of course, famous golfer, major winning golfer, although he's been missing the cut at most majors lately. Now does live golf. He, to be clear, does believe that we have been to the moon.
Okay, good.
He is not one of those crazy conspiracy theorists that think we've never been to the moon.
That thinks the moon landing was fake.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
But he does think that the footage from the moon landing is fake.
Oh.
He believes that, like, astronauts went to the moon in 1969. He does not believe
that we got camera footage of it.
The videos that we know of these astronauts going to the moon was legitimate. He thinks that was staged.
Does he have reasons?
I think he just thinks it doesn't look real.
He thinks it looks fake.
Okay. He says, I don't know. Look, Elon says we've definitely gone there. So I tend to go that route because he's the man that knows quite a bit about all that. Artemis just went around the moon, so I do believe if we spent a lot of our resources like they say we did, I think we did. I don't think the footage is real, but I think we did go to the moon. I don't know about the footage. That's what Bryson DeChambeau said.
What do you mean you don't know about the footage? Like, I need to know the reasons why he thinks the footage is fake.
I don't understand it, because if you think that, how would we get to the moon and not... If we can put a man on the moon, you don't think we could film it with a camera? We couldn't figure out a camera. We could figure out a rocket ship to get there.
But we can't fix a camera on the rocket.
To make it safe to get out of the rocket. But we can't figure out a camera.
Right. Like
that would work in space.
That is the wildest part of it to not believe.
Yeah. I'd rather he just say we didn't go.
Yeah. Like, at least just embrace the whole conspiracy theory because it's just like a middling thing to do.
Yeah.
Like, don't ride the fence, bud.
Exactly.
Don't ride the fence.
Make up your mind one way or the other. We can't do this lukewarm stuff.
Yeah. You either believe it happened or you didn't.
Yeah. We need you to take a stand, Bryson. Did we go to the moon and did we film it? Why would we not film it?
Yeah.
That'd be such a big error, or like, that would be even a bigger conspiracy that the United States would be like, we're gonna go to the moon.
Yeah.
But, we don't need to film it.
We don't need to film it.
Let's just fake it for everybody.
And also, if you don't believe that it happened, like, one of the things that I have found to be the most compelling piece of evidence that the moon landing did happen, which I have never not believed it, but just for any conspiracy theorists out there, the thing that was happening at the time was there was a space race between the United States and the Russians who's going to make it to the moon first. The Soviets were tracking the United States the entire time, and they have never once once disputed that the United States made it to the moon. Now, you would think if we didn't actually go, they would be like, no, they didn't do it, because it was a space race between us. Even Cold War, all
it's
that
even kind of
stuff.
surprising we did go, and they're not trying to discredit it.
Yeah, like they have never once disputed that the United States went. They independently tracked it the entire time as, obviously a party that would not want the United States to go.
True.
So I take that as pretty compelling evidence that it did indeed happen.
That's true, Allie, but then again, are you going to believe what the Russians believe?
What the Russians say about it?
Yeah. So now you throw me for a whole loop,
Again, they wouldn't want us to have made it, so I think they're being honest.
All right, here's what we do on every Thursday. Allie and I have a topic. We choose the first and worst things from that topic, and you decide which of us chose better and which picks we missed. This might be the wildest topic we've ever done. Because today we are doing houseplants.
Houseplants.
I don't know if you have any expertise on houseplants, Allie.
I usually am not very good as being a houseplant person and keeping plants alive.
I have some expertise because I used to work in a greenhouse.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, well, this will help because the one I'm picking for worst, you'll know why I'm picking it for worst.
Okay, I'll be interested to find out. But you get to go first, so go ahead, Allie. Your first and worst picks for houseplants.
Okay, for houseplants, there's been one particular plant that I have had success at keeping alive, and that is the snake plant. It is seen as one of the easiest to keep alive.
Okay.
And I actually really do like the way it looks. I have an Etsy shop, and so I take like pictures at home or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I've used snake plant in the background of the pictures just to make them look cute and everything. So I think that is, to me, the best because it's the easiest to keep alive. And again, my bar is quite low because I kill a lot of plants at home. So for the worst, I didn't really know which one I wanted to go with, whether I wanted to go with ones that I thought didn't look as nice or just hardest to keep alive. I ended up deciding to go for hardest to keep alive.
Okay.
And that is the fern. The fern is traditionally the hardest to keep alive at home because it needs more of like the humid environment.
Yeah.
And also another reason I chose this is because one of my favorite movies is How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. And if you've ever seen that movie, there is a scene with a fern and it just kills me because she gives Matthew McConaughey like his character a fern and she calls it the love fern, and it dies because it is the hardest plant to keep alive. And at one point she sees the fern died and she's like, you let it die. And I love that scene so much. So yeah, that fern is the worst.
Okay, for me, first to worst, houseplants. I'm going to start with worst because I have a little more conviction on the worst, and this is purely because what I'm picking is a plant that's not necessary. It's considered one of the easiest plants to keep alive. But what's the good of keeping it alive if it doesn't look cool?
Okay.
Or smell good or anything.
Okay.
And so that plant is the jade plant.
Ooh.
The jade tree. You would know it if you see it. It's more tree-like. It's very easy to keep alive. People talk about how they like passed it down, like their father gave them one or whatever. But it's just a little tiny tree with like
I've
those
seen these.
thick kind of like waxy leaves
Yep.
that I'm assuming hold like a lot of water, and that's why it's easy to keep alive. You don't have to water it very regularly.
That's similar to like snake plant, thick leaves.
They don't look cool at all. Like
really?
It's completely boring. It doesn't have flowers. What's the good of it?
I think it looks kind of cool.
It just adds a little greenery to your house, but there's a lot of things that you could do otherwise. And those plants that are like really thick and waxy, it's like they seem more fake, like there's less differentiation between that and a fake plant.
Okay.
So that's why I'm going with that. For first, this was a hard, difficult decision for me, but at the end of the day, I just have to go with my heart, so I'm going to choose Venus flytrap. It's helpful, it's not too hard to keep alive, and they look pretty cool.
Yeah.
They serve a purpose, they look cool, and they're not, like, I've kept them alive for a little while, so.
Okay.
And if I was going to just go buy a plant for my house, that's probably the first one I'd pick.
Venus flytrap.
Yeah, Venus flytrap.
All right.
So
don't turn it into an Audrey number 2.
Yeah, not the prettiest flowers. I know I really wanted to pick like a pretty flower, but honestly, if I recognize a lot of the flower names looking at them, but I'm like,
honestly,
I cannot find the ones I'm looking for.
An honorable mention one for me was going to be a flower, and that's the orchid, but it is actually pretty hard to keep the orchid alive.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know if I actually want to choose that one, because if it's dead, it doesn't look good.
Let's see if we have any flower experts. That
I'm
are
sure
ready
we
to
do.
Share their opinions. Best and worst houseplants. Let us know your thoughts on who picked better and which picks we missed at 8772 Radio U or with the talkback button in the Radio U app. Allie, your picks for best and worst houseplants.
I went with snake plant for best, and I went with the fern for worst.
I have jade tree for worst. I have Venus flytrap for first. Radio U, where music is going, 8772 Radio U or the talkback button in the Radio U app to chime in on today's first to worst Thursday rankings. Let us know your thoughts. We're picking the best and worst houseplants. Allie, you got to go first. Your choices are?
I went with snake plant for first because it's one of the easiest to keep alive, and that's kind of my judgment, a low bar for this one. And I also think it looks nice too. And then for worst, I went with the fern because it is pretty hard to keep alive. You kind of need a greenhouse to keep it alive because it needs humidity to stay.
And I have the Venus flytrap for first. It serves a purpose. It's not the hardest thing to keep alive, and it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
And for worst, I went with the jade tree, which is those little trees that have really thick, waxy leaves. But they're easy to keep alive, apparently, but for what purpose? They don't really look very cool. 8772 Radio U. We heard from Landon, who said, I'll side with Hudson only because of the Venus flytrap. I have no strong opinions on the others.
Nice. We heard from Josh. He says, I'm going to go with Allie, especially since she mentioned the orchid too. By the way, my mom always called the snake plant a mother-in-law's tongue. I got to see them growing in the wild on my mission trips to Brazil. It was funny how many plants we spend a lot of money on when there's just weeds growing on the sidewalks and down on the roadside.
So yeah, that's a one person's trash and another person's treasure thing. In Brazil, it's like you can't get rid of these things. And here, it's like, let me put that in my living room.
Yeah.
Susanna said at 8772 Radio U, Venus flytraps are undeniably cool. Team Hudson. I just went for the cool factor.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. I won't deny that. We heard from Hannah. She says, first I would have to say would be basil. It looks pretty and it's easy to keep alive and it serves a function. That's true.
It does. And it smells nice, right?
I don't know if it has a strong smell, but I know, that is something to take into consideration, like the usefulness of a plant. And if you're growing like herbs and everything, like that's pretty cool. Herbs and spices. She says, for worst, I would say a cacti. People say they're easy to keep alive, but I've had 3 and I've killed every one of them. Plus, they're pokey.
I like cacti.
I think I had 1 cactus at one point, so I don't know whatever happened to that.
Do you have any plants that are particularly trouble with your cat?
Yeah, I had a succulent, and she ripped that thing apart. And so no more succulents for me.
When I was growing up, we had, and I almost picked this for worst, and that is spider plants. Those are like notoriously, I think, the easiest thing to keep alive.
Yeah, they're pretty easy.
But the only reason I didn't pick them for worst is because I think they just kind of look cooler than some of the other options. But not only would the leaves kind of like shed off and like they brown up and just like fall off, which is kind of all over the place, but the cats would eat them.
Yep.
Cats would eat those. They loved eating those spider plants.
They do. I mean, cats and dogs, they like eating grass, and that kind of mimics that. So yeah.
You already mentioned the orchid. Do you have any other honorable mentions?
I think there's plenty of flowers that are beautiful, but I wouldn't want to try and keep them alive, like roses and things like that. That would be hard to keep alive. I know, like the miniature roses, I think are ones you can grow inside, and those are pretty hard to keep alive. So, but I just think roses are gorgeous.
I'm definitely always tempted by different cacti that I see. So that would be one that I would give a positive near the top. Also, I'm looking through here, and I like the kalanchoe.
Kalanchoe.
It's a succulent with at least what I'm seeing here is orange flowers. It's like a common thing.
Okay, yeah, I think I've seen those.
Yeah.
Also, is it weird for me to say that I like the look of goldenrod? I think a pasture of goldenrod is gorgeous.
I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
It's not a house plant, but I just think it looks pretty.
We should do outdoor plants next time. Did you see this, Allie? Yesterday, a big announcement from Aaron Rodgers.
I did see this.
It was rumored and reported, and finally he wound up, like, it was confirmed, and he's been at OTAs for the Steelers. He's coming back to play quarterback for the Steelers this year. But what he's mentioned yesterday is that this is going to be his final season.
Wow.
He said 2026 is it for him.
Yeah.
So he gets a little farewell tour. First of all, do you believe him?
I do. Actually, I do. At first, I wasn't sure if I believed him, but I think he's legitimately meaning that he's done.
Yeah, I think a lot of times athletes, like, they'll be wishy-washy, or like sometimes at the end of a season they say that it's going to be it, and I'm like, I think you might wind up getting the itch and coming back.
Yeah, like Tom Brady.
I think when they say it to start the season, like before they've actually done anything, I think that they kind of know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can't go through the whole charade of a farewell tour and then change your mind.
It's true. And I think this is how athletes should do this. We saw this not that long ago in baseball with Cabrera when he announced that he would be retiring with the Detroit Tigers, and he went on a farewell tour, and every team gifted him something. And so I think a successful player should announce it this way so that there is time for us to appreciate their accomplishments and what they've brought to the sport, rather than it being like something at the very end. I mean, if they don't want to draw attention to themselves, that's fine too.
Right.
But, if they're a great player, we should honor their legacy in the sport, and we should have a moment of like saying goodbye to them and playing back old, highlights, like when they played at this stadium. Do you remember this? So I think that's how successful players should do it. They should announce it like this.
Now, another question is, do you think, knowing not just Aaron Rodgers, but everybody on the team there for Pittsburgh, and I guess their opponents as well, knowing that this is going to be Aaron Rodgers' final season, does that help or hurt the performance and the results that we're going to get from Aaron Rodgers?
I don't know. Do you think he'll be like trying extra hard, or?
I think it is. I think there could be like a bit of an uptick of like, this is giving it all you've got one last time. You know what I mean? Where the motivation's just a little bit higher.
Sure.
And when you've been doing it for so long and you're as good as Aaron Rodgers is, like, I can see how your motivation can dip at times because
taper down.
Yeah, because you just, when you do something so well for so long, you're just like, I got this.
Yeah.
But I feel like for him, it might be a situation where he's like, I can't leave on a bad note.
Yep.
So I got to put in everything, and there's not going to be another chance for this.
Exactly.
So.
This is just like what we've talked about before with like a race. At the end of the race, empty the tank. Whatever you have left, let it out. Get it all out of there, because you don't want to end the season and be like, you know what? I could have done better. I could have given more. I had more energy. Let it all out there.
Yeah, so a big year, I think, coming for the Steelers. The division's kind of down.
The division is pretty down.
The Ravens, a head coach change. The Bengals, you think Joe Burrow's going to stay healthy all season?
No.
And the Browns are the Browns.
Yeah.
So. Is this a good fantasy punishment? 877-2-RADIO-U, or the talkback button in the RadioU app. This was at the Red Sox Royals game last night in Kansas City. A fan had to take up an entire section of the stadium, sit alone with a sign that said, I stink at fantasy football. And each of the letters was taking up one seat.
Yeah.
So they're massive letters. You could read it on TV. And then he's got that entire section to himself.
And the cameras played it up.
Yeah. Is that a good fantasy punishment, Allie?
I think so. He also has to wear like a NASA suit. I don't know if you noticed that. I don't
understand the suit.
He's wearing like a NASA onesie, basically. But yeah, I think it's a solid fantasy football punishment. It's not the worst we've seen.
Yeah.
It involves a sport that we love. Going to a baseball game does not sound like a punishment to me.
The good aspects are you get to go to a baseball game and you get the whole section to yourself, which is actually kind of nice. The bad aspect to me, number one, would be the money, because he had to pay for a lot of seats.
He had to buy the whole section.
I don't think he probably did, because if you look at the sections nearby, they're also mostly empty.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he had to buy every single seat in the whole
probably
section.
just had to find a spot that was going to be just pick any day game and you'll find seats like these.
Yeah, that very well possibly could be what it is. But if he had to buy any extra seats besides just his one,
that could get expensive.
That would definitely be a problem. And also, just like the logistics of him having to bring that sign in and set that up sounds kind of obnoxious. But then again, once you set it up, you just get to enjoy a baseball game and have a good time.
I would be, getting hot dogs. I'd be getting drinks and just enjoying myself. But look, he doesn't have any nothing with him.
Yeah, it does look like
so I wonder if that was a part of the punishment. Like you can't have a hot dog, no snack, no drink, nothing.
That would really hurt.
That would hurt to be at a baseball game and not be able to have snacks.
You just have to sit there the whole time.
No hot dogs?
Yeah, no hot dogs. Is there anything worse?
Blasphemy.
Yeah, that's a punishment enough.
Yeah.
Forget about the baseball game part.
I mean, a hot dog at a baseball game.
You got to have it.
You got to do it.
I think somebody's been listening to the show, Allie, because this is definitely something that we've mentioned here.
Yes.
We have talked about this. That we need a Betty Boop movie.
Yes.
Like an actual one, not that weird horror one that's coming out or already was made.
Not the weird public domain movie.
Right.
We said, okay, so there was a trailer for a public domain horror movie for Betty Boop because Betty Boop entered the public domain.
Yep. And
there's these groups of people that make these really amateurish, just not good films when these characters enter public domain. I.e., Winnie the Pooh and Popeye.
Yeah.
And, what was Steamboat Willie or whatever.
Right.
So those are kind of the main examples. But we both said when we saw the first, it wasn't a trailer, it was like a picture.
Yeah.
We were like, there's actually opportunity to make a pretty cool Betty Boop movie.
Yeah, the people want Boop. I want Boop. I don't even know that much about Betty Boop.
Yeah.
I've seen a few old Betty Boops.
Yeah.
And they're really weird because it's black and white.
Yeah.
And it looks like the animation is really cool. It looks like Cuphead Cuphead looks like Betty Boop.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of trippy. It seems like they were on drugs when they did it.
Maybe.
But it's kind of cool. But I don't even know if Betty Boop speaks. I don't know what she does. I don't know much about her.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I know she seemed like she was liked by World War II soldiers.
Yeah, because she was kind of like a pinup.
Yeah.
And so would be on planes sometimes.
My knowledge of Betty Boop isn't very high, but I'm curious.
Yeah.
I'm Boop curious. And so finally, somebody is taking advantage of this being out there. They were listening to the show, and it was Quinta Brunson of Abbott Elementary.
Yeah.
She has been is set to develop and star in, so she will be
Betty Boop
Ooh. In a new Betty Boop movie that she is making with her production company, Fifth Chance Productions. And I don't know about the timeline for this, but it can't come soon enough if you ask me.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what type of story they decide to go with, what lore about Betty Boop they use. Because again, neither of us are familiar with exactly where she comes from, what the lore is, what the story is, really.
I'm assuming it's live action, but it doesn't even actually say that, does it?
It doesn't, but I would assume it's live action.
Yeah. What I really would love is an animated Betty Boop.
Okay.
Like that's how it was, right? So that'd be cool.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want 3D animation.
No,
I want 2D.
No,
so.
yeah, it would have to hand drawn.
Yes.
Would be the right way to do it. But it's probably going to be live action. What Quinta Brunson said is that the story is going to be an opportunity to present a deeper and more layered take on the iconic figure.
And that's exactly what we asked for.
Yeah. Can you get deeper? I still don't know. Does Betty Boop talk? I guess she goes boop, boopy doop.
Yeah.
But does she actually say words?
I'm sure she does.
So
but
she has a speaking role?
I'm just not familiar with her as a character in a show or a cartoon. I had stickers of Betty Boop and little I don't know if I ever had a backpack, but I definitely had stationery that was Betty Boop themed. So, I had things of her. And so she's iconic to me because of that. But more for the look than anything that I would remember her saying.
Yeah. I'm interested. Do you like Abbott Elementary?
I've never watched it.
I've watched a few episodes.
I've heard it's fun.
It's
good. Like The Office, but it's school.
Pretty much, yeah. So it felt like an office that I didn't just gravitate to quite as much. But if it's the type of show to me that like if it's just on, I'd be like, this is cool,
Sure,
but
yeah.
I don't feel
You're
like I
not
need to watch
actively
every
watching
episode.
it.
Yeah.
Tonight, we are going to see the most powerful rocket ever built launch into space. Hudson.
Let's go. Now we're talking.
Yeah, this is from SpaceX, which they're preparing to launch the Starship V3, and they describe it as that very thing, the most powerful rocket ever built.
Nice.
And it's going to launch during the 12th Starship test flight tonight around 6:30 p.m. Eastern. This is going to happen at Starbase, which is in South Texas. And they do plan to live stream this, as they always do, on their website.
Since it's from Starbase, they don't have to pay rent to the United States government or whatever.
That's what I'm thinking. They might have initially planned to use Florida again or go to, some of the other Texas options that are with NASA, but maybe they decided they didn't want to pay the fee, so they're going to do it on their own launch pad instead.
Nice. So what's the point of this?
So,
besides just being cool.
Yeah, I mean, obviously SpaceX does lots of different tests. We've seen them do, tests with their different rockets and starships and everything. So this is one that's been in development for a while. But basically, with the powerful rocket like this is kind of something that they would want to test to see if they actually could make it to something like Mars, which is a much further distance. And then also, they have mentioned many times about doing the whole, we want to build a city on the moon.
Right.
And they've pivoted to that because initially Elon Musk wanted to build a city on Mars, but I'm assuming saw that the logistics for that were going to be a nightmare, so decided to transition to the moon, which might be a little easier.
Right, as opposed to the easily navigable, logistical.
Super easy to get to the moon. So yeah, I think they also want to test this for potential payload and how much it can carry cargo wise. So yeah, there's just a lot of developments happening for SpaceX because those are kind of their big goals.
So is this a rocket that SpaceX does this thing where they shoot it up and then they can catch it again so they can reuse it? Are they doing that with this?
I don't know if they're doing that with this. So that they do with the boosters.
Okay.
So that's what's helping launch certain rockets. They catch the booster again so they can reuse it. I don't know. I mean, they want to make as much reusable as possible. So I would assume they would try that, but I haven't heard if that is a part of the plan that we'll see, because that is incredible to watch.
Yeah.
If you've never watched them have the booster come back down, it is actually super awesome to watch.
Yeah, that is a crazy thing. I'm seeing here, it says that it's going to deploy dummy Starlink satellites. It's not really a nice word to use.
Such a dummy.
Also going to attempt an in-space engine relight.
Okay.
And then it's going to test new heat shield technology, which I guess that's going to just be constant of how do the heat shields hold up?
Yep.
Which I've seen some kind of videos on that on YouTube or whatever. That's it's crazy.
Yes.
The heat shield stuff.
It's pretty scary stuff.
It's splashing down in the Indian Ocean at some point.
Okay.
So I guess they're not recatching it.
Yeah, not the rocket, but they might recatch the booster. So I don't know if they've ever caught a rocket before.
But it also says that leading up to this launch tonight, they've had several setbacks during previous testing, including a booster explosion and a Raptor engine failure.
Yeah, we've talked about the booster explosion because that happened in Florida when they were trying to launch. I think it was one of the Falcon launches that happened with, but
now that
was pretty scary.
This isn't a manned mission, right? So
no. Yeah, and neither was the one with the booster explosion.
Yeah, so
none of them have been
manned. Something could go wrong tonight. It probably fortunately nobody will be hurt. It'll just be a big setback again.
Yes, it would be we'd have to remake the equipment again.
Yeah.
But yeah, no people should get hurt.
While that would be sad, that would also be because nobody would be hurt. That'd be pretty cool to see.
I mean, yeah. One good thing is NASA's not paying for this.
Yeah, that's right. It's just Elon Musk's money.
It's just Elon Musk. Thanks for listening to the RadioU Podcast. Don't forget to rate and review the show.